All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all the honor, the praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered abroad. All right, this is a brother Barazal here with a lesson, and Lord willing, it's edifying. So, the title of this lesson will be, or Esau can only get so far, right? Because, we understand that, through, prophecy, when we read through the prophecies that, Esau, he's not going to be able to, fully, fully have his NWO, in effect. All right. Now he's going to have kind of, everything in place, for it to happen. All right. But, we understand that, Yahweh Shai is going to come back with the angels, and stop all that from happening. All right. So this is the book of Job 5:12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right. And in this sense, all right, Esau, he represents the crafty. All right. And, that's good word to use for Esau. All right. Because he is crafty. Right. He's crafty with, his wickedness. All right. The left hand side. Right. Esau, he's known for having, those words smooth as butter. All right. All to, deceive you. All right. So this is definitely talking about this man. All right. And not to mention, the world, was given into his hands. All right. To be that wicked ruler. All right. That has to go down, eventually. All right. So even though, as we see it, we getting closer and closer to, Esau, just fully, coming with that NWO, right? Fully having that answer, all right, for the order ab chaos, right? For the chaos that's about to ensue, right? In the form of the MOTB, all right? The Lord is only going to allow this man to get so far, all right? Because the Lord has to come back, and deliver his elect, and set up, that righteous kingdom, okay? Not to mention, Babylon has to get destroyed as well. Okay. So we can get the next precept. This is Job 20:23. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Yeah. So Esau Edom, he gonna think he good. All right. All hell breaking loose. The MOTB is being mandated. People, taking it, thinking that's the only way for their lives to go back to normal, to get their, conveniences back. All right. This, that, and the third. And, right when Esau, thinks that, he got it. All right. That's when the Lord is going to come back and shut everything down, man. All right. Deliver the elect, the elect being beamed up, in the chariots. All right. Simultaneously as, Babylon the Great is destroyed by the thermonuclear fire, man. And this is all in the Lord's control. You see, that's why, we're not worried, about what, Esau is coming to do. All right. Because we know that the Lord is in control and he's only going to allow this man, but to go so far. You see, and we have faith, that the Lord is coming back to, to deliver us. You see. So this is the book of 2 Esdras 6:7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the pardon asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Yeah, and this has yet to happen. All right, this is going into Jacob and Esau, right? The prophecy in the book of Genesis, right? The elder shall serve the younger, all right? Because, Esau, he's like, our wicked, twin brother, and he came out first. So he would be, the older brother, right? This is going into, Jacob and Esau, all right? So let's read that again. 2nd Ezra 6:7, it says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, unto Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see? Esau is the end of the world. All right? So this man, Esau, Edom, he has to be in rulership. All right? All the wickedness that's going on. All right? Him enslaving, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, rape, robbing, all right, murdering, our people. All right, taking our land and, things of that nature. All right. Trying to strip away, our heritage, keep us from, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right. So this man, he got a lot to pay for, man. You see? So let's read that again. 2nd Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. What does that mean? Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. Because we know that it's going to be it's going to be the kingdom of heaven, established, once Jacob, comes into rulership. And we could read that. We could read that real quick. Here we go. It says, Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And what is that promise talking about, man? The promise that was passed down from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. You see? And it says, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Yeah, so Jacob is going to be ruling. All right? And it's going to be a kingdom established in righteousness. All right? And the heathens is going to have to be put in captivity. All right? And Esau, Edom, he going to get the worst out of all the heathens, man. You see? And that's what we strive for, man. We don't look to come up in this world. We don't look to be anything, as far as this world goes. All right? We hate our lives. We looking forward to the kingdom, man. That's why, we out there, in the highways and hedges, man, rehearsing the righteous acts, following the law to the best of our ability, having faith, that the Lord is going to come back, and do what he said he was going to do. You see? So this is the book of Revelation 12:12. It says, Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. You see? The key word right here is, or the key is the end of it, right? He knoweth that he hath but a short time. You see? So this man know he going down, man. And the pride of Esau, he's going to do it anyway. We got a short time, he got to, hurry up and do what he got to do. Right. But at the end of the day, we understand that, he got a short time because the Lord, he coming back, man. All right. The Lord is going to come back. All right. And destroy this place. All right. Going into Babylon. All right. And, these different Edomites. all right, that's around, all right, after the destruction is going straight into slavery, starting with the wicked, elites, all right. So we'll read that again, Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. And that's why we're rejoicing. You see, rejoice. Okay? Because we know that, we know that this place is going down. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, to the wicked. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right? And, as it's like as soon as we came into the truth, time has been passing by fast, right? The scriptures go into, he hath shortened the, the days for the elect's sake, just roughly paraphrasing, right? So, we're seeing all this unfold, and it's happening, man, quick. All right. That's why, we got to get on, be in good standing with the Lord, man. All right. Because, the day of the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night, But, that'll do it with the lesson. So with that, I'd like to give all the honor, the praise, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Barak HaKodesh. Shalom.